To be introducing to you the panel of judges. The first judge on the list is Honorable Yoga Samuel. You can please raise up your hand. The second judge is Honorable Kafuma Eric. The third judge is myself, Mahiga Joseph Mary. Mahiga Joseph Mary. So now I'm going to be calling out members of the two competing sides. Members on your farmer's side, we have Abuaiza Obed. Please come and take a seat. Honorable Steve Akeshwa from the negatives, you please come and take your seat. Honorable Steve, as Honorable Steve is approaching, let's welcome Honorable Katorega Moses, also from the negatives. And finally, Honorable Mutendwa Shafir. You are most welcome. Please come and take your seat.
Honorable judges and what opponents, good morning. I rise with great confidence to propose the motion that states this House advocates for censure of government officials as the most effective way of fighting corruption in Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, this motion simply means that this House supports, promotes the use of censure, a formal expression of strong disapproval or condemnation by Parliament or another governing body as the most effective way of stopping corruption. In other words, we believe that publicly condemning, exposing and removing corrupt officials from office is the better strategy for eliminating corruption than relying solely on new laws, longer investigations, or imprisonment which take long and yet corruption is continuing. Ladies and gentlemen, these actions of imprisoning corrupt officials as well as taking investigation, they take a long period, yet people are not. Yet corrupt officials are enjoying their privileges and the police is investigating. So banning them is the better way. The censuring of them is the better way. Censure in this motion, it simply means that the government should stop corrupt officials from doing their duties at their work as well as getting funds from the government. Dear judges, through censure, we enforce political accountability, discourage abuse of power, and build a culture of integrity, transparency, and responsible leadership within our government institutions. On my team, I have come with the second speaker, and the third speaker. My first speaker is going to show us how it gives a lesson to the officials who intend to carry out corruption. He's going to show us how censuring corrupt government officials gives a room for funding other sectors of the nation. My third speaker is going to tell us how censuring corrupt officials create chances for new potential leaders. He's also going to show us how it promotes effective delivery of services to people. Our stance is clear. We strongly believe that censure is the most effective way of fighting corruption because it promotes accountability, rebuilds public trust, and acts as a powerful determinant to future wrongdoing. Ladies and gentlemen, when you do something and it fails, do you continue doing it or you look for another option? Another option is only censuring the corrupt government officials. We as the proposition team believe that censuring it is a strong proof that the government is doing its best to fight corruption. For example, when people who stole those who stole the iron sheets for the Karamojos, some of them were censured. So this gave a strong proof to the people that the government is doing its share of fighting corruption. So people gained more trust in the government. For example, Richard Indihura, the state minister for health 2007, first essential nation alongside Jimmy Muhezi and Alex Kamugisha over corruption in the Global Fund and the GAL project were allowed.
Excuse me, Honorable Chakon. You were saying about the people who stole the iron sheets from the people of Karamoja. You were saying that they were dismissed from their offices. I would like to inform you that they were not fired. They were put back into their offices and they were put a fine of how much they are supposed to pay. Remember in 1966,
Honorable Katega, I want to think that the people were censured from their government from their offices, apart from the Minister Jessica Arupo, who gave strong confidence that she was not among the people. But the others were censured from their offices, and the government stopped giving them funds. Through censuring, we see that censuring helps in eradication of poverty in the country. For example, the PGM, the money that the government decided to supply to villages in order to promote development in those areas. Those people who receive that money, they do not get the full amount of money. The government officials may collect like 200,000. So these people cannot be able to utilize that small amount of money given to them for projects like farming. Projects like farming need more income, more than 1 million. But the government has supplied 1 million, but again government officials want to remove part of that 1 million for their beneficial. Yet people are suffering. So when the government censures these government officials, it will automatically lead to development, because the money will be given to people effectively and they use it very well to make projects that benefits them. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we prove that censure ensures that learners are held responsible for their actions. It empowers the parliament to directly punish those who misuse public resources. For example, according to the Daily Monitor 2017, the Chogam scandal in Uganda Parliament censured certain ministers for mismanagement of funds, sending a clear message that no one is above the law. Censuring shows people that no one is above the law. This kind of accountability creates the government that fears wrongdoing and respect public responsibility. The people will get to know that the government has the responsibility to make sure that corrupt officials do not harm people. So dear judges, we stand firm that we urge you to vote again and support this motion as the only way to stop corruption in our nation. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Honorable Chakoni Henry. At this moment, let us welcome Honorable Chitiba Ketfa from the Negatives to come and present your case. So you're welcome.
Good morning to all this institution and the honorable adjudicators. My name is Chitiba Ketra the first speaker of the Negera side. I'm backed by Kacheraga Moses, the second speaker, and Tenda Shafil, the third speaker. Today's motion states that this House advocates for the censure of government officials as the most effective way of fighting corruption in Uganda. I am negating the motion 100%. Let me present part of my team's case. People believing that the embarrassing of government officials is the most way of fighting corruption in Uganda. First of all, it does not strengthen institutions like courts or police, since the high leaders like the judges, police officers, prison wardens and the lawyers are too corrupt. Recently, there was a prison warden who was killed for being corrupt. And I'm glad to say that the prison warden was not in my motherland, he was from China. My second point is, it does not prevent future corruption. By this I mean, if a powerful leader in a government, like a minister, is fired from an office for being corrupt, it does not mean that corruption will end on his or her legacy. More and more corrupt officials are coming and will be there to consume corruption for illegal acts to be carried out in a country. It does not address systemic corruption. In this I mean, it does not end corruption that is within the system of governance in countries